Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. For today's podcast episode, we're actually going to be doing a movie review on Jingle All The Way. This movie came out in 1996, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is actually one of my favorites. It's a classic, and we actually have some people inside the chat right now I want to actually give a holler at, and that's Larry Lease.
Larry,
And
put the cookie down.
Yep. Finally, a Christmas classic, movie, good vibes. Yes. And by the way, guys, if you want to catch Larry, you guys can go on ahead and catch him on Cinema Gold, which is his podcast. It's a good podcast. Check it out. He actually did a review on Jingle All the Way just recently. So check that out when you guys have a chance. So let's go on ahead and get on with this review. This movie is one of my favorite movies. As a matter of fact, it didn't do so well. Well, actually, it did pretty well at the box office and stuff like that if you actually look at it. But critically, it actually got a lot of bad criticism from critics because they said that there was not an actual plot or anything within the movie or anything like that because it was hard to identify what the plot was. But I'm like, hello, it's just a plot about a guy who's trying to get a Turbo Man doll for his son, and that's the whole plot.
Yeah.
And also, too, I want to mention that Sinbad is actually in this movie, and everybody, I just want to let you guys know that Sinbad actually suffered a stroke just recently. And so I just thought I would actually give him a little shout out and everything and say, and let him know that our thoughts and prayers are with him because Sinbad is one of my favorite actors in the 90s whenever you actually look at it. I liked him in House Guest with him and Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman's actually in this movie though too. And I love this movie because of the fact that it's about a father who's actually trying to get a Turbo Man doll for his son, and he goes through hell to try and get that doll.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, this is actually back when the Tickle Me Elmo dolls were actually popular and everything during 1996. So everybody was actually tackling each other down for a Tickle Me Elmo doll. But in my common sense and everything, I was thinking, why are they tackling them down for that? Why aren't they tackling each other down for an N64? Because that's what I would actually tackle someone down for. Because at that time, N64 was out and everything too. But this was also one of those things where it was about the 1980s, but the Cabbage Patch dolls as well.
Yeah.
So they just made it more modernized and everything with the Tickle Me Elmo thing, which I thought was really good for its time. What do you think?
Yeah, I was actually doing research on all the toys that were popular at that time, and we talked about the Cabbage Patch doll. That you can see YouTube videos of parents fighting and pulling each other's hair, getting into the Christmas spirit. Very touching. I'm just gonna go through a few. So in the 90s, we talked about Tickle Me Elmo. Game Boy. Did you get a Game Boy?
Yeah, I had a Game Boy whenever it first came out on the first release.
Did you have the Home Alone Talk Boy?
Yep, I had that too.
That was good. And Sega Genesis. I know I begged my mom for a Sega. Beanie Babies, Barbie dolls. They'll never go out of style. I begged my mom for a Power Ranger toy. I think it was the one where you can like change their head. It sounds creepy, but it's like comes out their chest like alien, like bleh.
Yeah, I actually had that one. And get this, I had the hardest time trying to find Tommy, the white Power Ranger.
Oh yeah, he was hard. Yeah.
He was very hard to actually get. And you know where I found him at? I was in Boston during the summertime. I saw this family and everything. This kid was just playing with his Power Ranger toy, and I said to my grandfather, after looking in Toys R Us and everything, I was like, "That boy has a a Tommy action figure from the Power Rangers." So my grandfather pulls over, and he asked him, "Son," he goes, "Son, where did you get that Power Ranger from?" He goes, "Oh, I got it at the cigar shop."
What?
Yeah. So we go over to the cigar shop, and that's where I got my Power Ranger for Tommy, for the White Ranger.
Did he speak Spanish? Like in the movie.
Right. Because we went to different toy stores. It was in the summertime, I remember. And that's when I found the white Power Ranger at the cigar shop.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah, I think back then it was like $15.
Really?
Something like that, right? Was it like
I want to say 8 or
12,
9.
$8 or $9. Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
today's price. Sorry.
Yeah. Today's price is like $15-$20 for that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Yeah. And then 2000s, because I'll be quick, because we have a lot to do tonight.
okay.
We have a very
Yeah.
big show tonight, John.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay.
You're
At
very welcome.
2000s is the Razor scooter. Did you get one of those?
No, I never got
It was early
that.
2000s. Bratz doll, Xbox 360. That was
I got one of
2005.
those. Yeah, I got a 360, but I sold it for a PS3.
Whoa. That's on the list too, John. It's like
Yeah.
you know my list. Oh my gosh. Nintendo DS. For some reason, iPad. I didn't know the kids were getting iPads, but whatever.
Yeah, the parents
Um,
were heavy into that stuff. Like, I remember the parents asking me, "What should I get my kid for Christmas and everything? What should I get him an iPad or a tablet?" I said, "Go with a tablet because chances is you're gonna pay $400 for an iPad that they're gonna break. Tablets are a lot less expensive than an iPad."
oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Yep.
You're a smart man, John. You're a
Thank
smart
you.
man. I want you to
Appreciate
know
it.
that. I want your
Thank you.
audience to know that too.
Okay.
So 2019 LOL surprise doll. Did you hear about those dolls?
No,
They
I
come
didn't
in
know
like
about
this.
that.
It looks like this giant. It's in the shape of a snow globe, like a giant ball or something, and it comes with a variety of surprise toys from this LOL surprise company.
I didn't know about that.
So now the hot toys now are the Star Wars Baby Yo-Yo doll, as I call him. The LOL surprise remix doll. Apparently they're back. There's something called Swirl and Style Tie-Dye Studio. So you can make your own tie-dye shirts. That's
Okay, that's great.
interesting. There's something called um, Little Live Gotta Go Flamingo, which I saw it was a flamingo on a toilet. So that's for the children.
I'm done.
Like a virtual reality science accessory set. That's
I
the
could
big
see.
one now. Yeah, and Legos. Legos never go out of style. So
No.
those are the hot toys for this year.
And then, of course, I have to agree with Larry on this one. PS5 is definitely the hot one as well.
PS5, yes, PS5,
No pun intended, since it's actually burning houses down or
yes,
burning up.
yes, yes.
But I have
Just
to
in
agree
time
with
for the holidays.
right. But I also have to agree with Brandy though. The Sega was actually expensive, and I didn't get that under my tree. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't until the summertime I got a Sega when the price actually dropped.
Oh yeah, my poor mom. I managed to beg and get on her nerves enough that I got a Sega, and then I begged again for games, but I only got 2 games. Um,
Aw.
so I played the shit out of those games. So it was so it was Street Fighter 2 every day, all day.
Oh, I used to play the shit out of that, out of Street Fighter. That and Mortal Kombat. Those were the two go-tos.
Oh, I wanted Mortal
But,
Kombat. But my mom said, I got you this Sega and that's all you're getting. And I was like, okay, thank you.
but let's see here. What I love about this film, though, at the very beginning is we're first introduced into Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's over there on the phone, and the secretary is telling him, "Look, you have to hurry up for your son's karate
Mm-hmm.
class." And you can definitely tell this is the '90s because every kid in the '90s was taking karate and everything. There was no UFC fighting styles or anything like that. It was just plain karate. And so, you know, he winds up talking later than what he's supposed to. Next thing you know, he's late.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of him going through, just waiting for the traffic to lighten up or whatever and let it move on through, he goes on the right hand side where the police officers normally pass at. And all of a sudden, you see a police officer that just pulls him over. And that's when Arnold is having to recite the ABCs backwards. He's having to stand on his nose, stand on one leg and everything and stuff like that. and he was late for his son's karate lesson. And then that's when his son winds up telling him about the Turbo Man doll, because at that point Arnold is like, "Look, I feel bad. What can I do to make this up to you?" And so his son is like, "I want a Turbo Man doll." Next thing you know, he recites the whole entire commercial for him.
Batteries not included.
I can do that. I want the one with the special voice box where batteries not included and everything. And also too, I love the background of his room. At that point, Fox did not take over Marvel or anything like that. And they had the Incredible Hulk in the background. They had Incredible Hulk sheets with the Captain America behind it. Marvel was still just a comic book, was basically just a comic book company still. So that was something that was interesting. And it was also a little tip of the hat to the original Hulk, because Arnold was actually a guest star on the Incredible Hulk TV show.
What?
So he's playing
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And so another thing that I want to actually mention though too, so after he winds up reciting the whole entire bit with the commercial and everything, the next morning he's actually trying to venture out. Arnold's actually trying to venture out and start his day. And his wife's like, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just going to the office." And the night before though, he was like, "Yeah, I got the Turbo Man doll." And just good. I'm glad that you got the Turbo Man doll, because otherwise they're going to be hard to find. He's like, "Yeah, I got the Turbo Man doll." And then the next morning, he's like, "I gotta get the DOLL out of the office and everything." And the son is thinking that he's trying to miss out on the parade and everything that him and his mom always goes to. Phil Hartman is probably the person that I would want to deck the most in this movie.
Yeah.
Because he's like a smooth operator and everything. He's like trying to get all the women in the neighborhood to try and sleep with him because he's a widower.
Or maybe he did sleep with them, because at the karate, at Jamie's karate practice or tournament, all the moms were giving him cookies.
Right.
You know.
They're giving him cookies, but not
Yeah.
only that, but if you think about it though, they're also hitting on him though too. He goes, "Hey, we need you to come over to my house and everything, because I know that you have a special tool that you can use to actually help me with that certain thing that I want done." And it's kind of like a wink wink type of thing, you know?
Yes, yeah. And he was like, "I don't know what they're talking about."
Right? And he's just playing it off, but the only woman in the neighborhood that he can't seem to get is, of course, Arnold's wife.
Yes.
And the person that you want the most is the person that you wind up wanting what you can't have. So therefore, he's tried everything he can to make a move on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought on her. So I thought that was actually pretty funny. And then of course, you know, Ted's actually Phil Hartman's character's name. And when Arnold's about to leave, that's when he has the reindeer in his hand and everything, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. They don't normally attack people or anything like that." And you can definitely tell Phil is actually that Ted is actually trying to attack him with the reindeer, so he can get out of the name. But what did you think about all that setup and everything as far as the opening goes and stuff?
The opening was really cool because it brought audience into the day of the life of Jamie, just sitting in front of the TV watching the Turbo Man commercial, because they actually shot it where we're watching a Turbo Man series, like an episode. Right. And it reminded me of Power Rangers, actually.
It does have a Power Rangers feel to it.
Yeah, it does have that, where they're out just randomly in the desert and then explosions happen and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? But I didn't have to think about that because I was a kid.
Right.
I was like, that just happens.
Well, to be honest with you, even as a kid, I was like, okay, this is just a representation of what Power Rangers is. So it was just like me watching Power Rangers and everything. I was just eating that up because I like the fact that they used a fictional character to be like the Power Rangers and have that little bit of cheesiness in the 90s.
Yeah. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. Yeah, and his name is Dementor.
Yeah,
What's
the
the
mentor.
villain's name? Yeah, he had that Rita vibe where he was like, "I will get you next time, Turbo Man." And he just randomly on the cliff, and then he just disappears in a puff of smoke, like Rita used to do.
Right.
Yeah, I liked it. And then the scene like pans out to it being a TV show, which I think that scene's always pretty cool. And Jamie's watching it and he's just soaking it up like a kid, like I would do, sitting in
Hmm.
front of the TV, like, ooh, I want this. I used to write lists to my mom, and I was like, I used to put it on the refrigerator. I'm like, okay, that's what I want because that's what I saw on TV. And if I don't get it, then I won't be the coolest kid in school. I only
Right.
got one of those things, but I was like halfway cool.
You see, I was the same way. I was like, if I don't get this, I feel like I'm missing out, and
Yeah,
therefore I'm not going to be with all the popular kids. I'm going to be in that loser
exactly.
section of the cafeteria that I don't want
Yeah. And then you got to come to school after Christmas. And people like, oh, what you got for Christmas? You don't want to say clothes. And they're like, you're a loser.
to.
I'm like, oh no,
Or
I got the
everybody
Power
playing with
Ranger
a
doll
Turbo Man
too.
doll.
Yeah, I got a Turbo Man doll. Oh my God, you're so cool. Me too. Come over to my house. And then it breaks, like they said, and then you lose interest in it. And then it's just in
Right.
the corner collecting dust.
Right.
That took a
And
turn.
let's see. This is what Larry said, though. He said, "Surprise! I just realized watching it that the kid is a young Anakin." That's actually
Oh, oh. I didn't even realize it.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know that,
Phantom
Larry. That's
Menace.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, he did have a
But
lot of outbursts, so that made
he
sense.
did,
He's a very
yeah,
emotional child.
he was. He was very emotional and depressed because he couldn't get his Turbo Man doll. I'm surprised he
Yeah,
didn't try and force choke Arnold into trying to
it
do
made
anything.
sense. It made sense because Anakin, Jamie in this movie, his dad didn't keep his promises, so he grew
Right?
up and got in touch with the dark side and became Lord Vader. Boom.
But what? Here's another thing. I always do that. But another thing, though, too, that I have to say is the part where Ted winds up telling him, "Hey, look, you need to put chains on your tires for the snow."
Oh yeah,
And you can hear Arnold mumble a little bit. He goes, "I'd like to put you, or I would like to wrap your head around chains."
yeah. Sounds good. Because yeah, that's true, right? Don't you? Because you're from Boston, so
Right.
you have to
That's it.
use tire with chains, right?
Yep. You would have to
Yeah.
use tires with chains, so that way, nothing happens to your tires or anything like that. And it also makes it easier for it to actually go into the snow and everything too.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
that's what we actually had to use. And you know, I liked it when he goes and meets up with at that point we actually see Sinbad for the very first time as a postman sitting in front of the store. And he explains how he cannot stand his son for making him wait inside the store for this Turbo Man doll. And then he just has this loud outburst because all they're gonna do is they're gonna play with it for a little bit, and it's gonna break, the head pops off, and guess what? Then you're spending hours over there just trying to glue the stupid thing on, but it'll never actually fit right or anything like that. Next thing you know, it's actually loose. And then and then all of a sudden he just grabs the woman next to him and everything and strangles her. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
it just got real.
Yeah. 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 I'm surprised she didn't press charges, but she didn't have time. She had to get a Turbo Man doll. So she was like, I just gotta get choked out for a minute. As long as I get the Turbo Man doll, I'm fine.
Right. Yeah, she got choked out by Myron, who was the post guy. And
But it
she was probably like, to be honest with you, I could just see that though. It's like, you know what? I can press charges later. I just want to get my Turbo Man doll for my son,
yeah.
and that's all I want.
And it's true too what he said. It's like the toy companies, they see what the parents have to go through and what can entice children. And then it was like, get this so you can be cool. Then the children go to the parents and they're like, Mom, Dad, I need this so I can be cool and I can matter. And then the parents got to break their necks and we're laughing at them on YouTube looking stupid, like punching each other in the face and pulling each other's hair, biting each other. I mean, I'm entertained by it because I'm not in the middle of it. But
Exactly. Because they actually have to be the ones who buys it and puts it under the tree for us and everything, and we're just sitting on the sidelines letting everything play out so that way we can get what we
yeah,
want.
yeah. And then maybe the kid plays with it a few times, and by I say maybe summer, they're over it.
Right. And then
And
on
they
to something new.
went through
And
all that and got punched in the face for your kid to play with
I
for
have
2
two
months.
broke ribs. I can't barely breathe. And you little shit. You just,
You
you,
gonna play
you
with
don't
this
want this anymore?
365 days. That's what you gonna do. And I'm gonna
Even
rewrap
Myron
it for
points that out though.
Christmas.
But get this though, Myron even points that out though too. He is even saying the big toy stores are like the Illuminati type of thing. This is
They
before
are.
the Illuminati.
Hmm.
Everything he was this conspiracy theorist
Yes.
and everything
Yes.
before. But I thought that bit worked with Myron with Sinbad. I thought he did a very good job at doing the comedic timing. And then of course, at first you think that Myron is actually pretty cool and chill and everything, and that you know they're buddies because the store hasn't even opened yet. So of course they're introducing each other and everything else. Everything seems cool. Then all of a sudden the doors open,
Mm-hmm.
and then forget about friendship, forget about everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
either you die or
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? It's either you get this doll or you die trying to get this doll
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
And then also too, another thing, the two shop people actually laugh at Arnold because they said, "Do you have the Turbo Man doll?" And they're like, "Do we have the Turbo Man doll?" No, do we? Nope. And they started laughing and
Yeah.
everything. And at that point, Arnold is just pissed off at them. And he goes, "Where's your holiday spirit at?"
It's sad. Yeah, because I mean, they opened the doors, like you said, and they were piled up there anyway, like sardines. And then they all
Right.
started to tumble like bowling pins, which was hilarious. And then if you look at YouTube videos, you're like, oh, it's real life. People actually
Right.
do this. People actually fall and tumble and punch each other in the face
For a doll, for a
for a
toy.
doll. Yeah. Yeah.
But that
But
just goes to show you
anyway.
the craziness of Christmas.
Yeah, and it's
So,
not supposed to be like that. Like,
no.
it's supposed to be, well, the older I got, like, the more I got older, the less that my Christmas list got shorter and shorter on the refrigerator. And then my mom would ask me, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, nothing. I'm just, my family, I got some food, I'm good. So, my parents actually have to beg me, please, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, nothing, I told you. I can buy my own stuff. I pay,
Just leave me alone. I'm old. I just want to go on
yeah,
ahead and rock in my rocking chair. Just leave me
yeah, I
alone.
pay taxes, damn it. I can buy my own Christmas present. I can buy that Power Ranger doll you didn't give me. I'm fine.
Yeah. Then another thing though too, I have to laugh at is when Arnold checks on his home and everything to see how everything is going
Yeah.
with his son and everything. I thought that was actually with Jamie, and of course, Ted answers the phone. He goes, "Oh, your wife has just made some great cookies. These cookies are great. Put those cookies down. Who told you can have my cookies?" Next thing you know it, and everything feels so. And of course, it's not homemade cookies or anything like that. He's totally BSing him because of the fact he even said, "Oh, I already know what to do," and everything, because Liz winds up walking away and everything, going upstairs to change for the parade.
Yeah.
So Ted is downstairs, but before she goes upstairs, she says, "Oh, I already know what to do and everything. Just wait until they're golden brown, 10 to 17 minutes and everything, and I'm good to go." So that goes to show you that they're not actually homemade cookies. It comes out of the tube and everything that you actually have to sit on. So,
John,
so
no, they're not homemade cookies.
well, I mean, if you already know what to do, if you know
Oh,
it's only
no.
takes 10 to 17 minutes,
This is terrible.
and then of course he's also BSing Arnold because of the fact he goes, "Oh, these cookies are so good. Mm. And then he
Yeah.
goes, I have to get Liz to get me the recipe. There is no recipe. There is no recipe because he already said how many minutes that it's actually going to be set to. So it's all BS because of the fact that he's just trying to get under Arnold's skin. At least that's how
Yeah.
I actually do it.
Yeah. He was like, go get Liz. He's like, oh, she's in the shower. You want me to get her?
No.
No. No, I don't want you to get my wife. She's in the shower.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger's character is named Howard. But I have to feel bad for Howard because when his son Jamie answers the phone though too, he said, where's your mom at? He goes, oh, she's petting Ted. She's what?
She's riding Ted. Yeah, because remember that was the reindeer that Ted brought his son a reindeer, and all the moms in the neighborhood was like, I wish you could be like my husband, caring and loving. And then she looks at her husband. He's like, what? What's going on?
Another thing too, though, Ted also mentions to him that he has a Turbo Man doll underneath the tree, which is actually going to play out later on in this other scene that once we actually get to it.
Yeah,
But,
he got it weeks ago.
And he goes, it's nestled safely under my tree. And he knows that he's pissing Howard off. He knows that he's getting under his skin and everything, but he just doesn't care. He still tries to hit on his wife, Liz. He still tries to get under his skin, trying to be the new father, trying to get Liz to divorce Howard and everything. But the other thing that I loved about this movie, though, was
I like the when they went to the mall, and this was when the mall was opening. No, wait, I think they went somewhere where there was Turbo Man dolls still available, and there were raffle balls. So they had to get in line for the raffle balls.
Right.
And
but
then,
there's also another But
yeah,
there's
yeah,
another thing there too. Yeah, there was another scene inside the toy store. Remember when he goes from toy store to toy store, and he just flips out over it and everything, over Turbo Man. He takes the display and just rips it. He punches it. Turbo Man comes back up and hits him upside the head and everything, knocks him over a little bit.
Yeah.
And then finally we get into the scene that you're talking about. But go on ahead. Keep on.
Yeah. There was raffle balls, and then they jacked the price up too. It was like, okay, the price is gonna be up 100, but you get these raffle balls, and we'll do this raffle, and then we'll let you know who got the toy, whatnot. So one of the store employees just throws the balls in the air because he's very sick of people just grabbing at them. And that's when like pandemonium ensues, and then people are like grabbing the balls, and they're like, I think one was in someone's mouth, and then they like choking them.
Yeah, one was his. I believe it was actually Sinbad's mouth and everything. Remember?
Yeah, and then he was running away, and Arnold's like, "He got two. He got two."
Between my Arnold's impression and yours, I make him sound like he's Mexican. You make him sound like he's Indian. So
that's how Arnold sounds. He's like, "He got two. Get him." Oh God, it was crazy. And then the whole film you were following the ball because it slipped out of Myron's hand. Then it bounced through the mall, and then Howard's up there chasing the ball, and then it plops and falls off one of the mall rails into a girl's lap, and then she has it in her hand, and then she goes to some indoor jungle gym, and she's playing with the ball. And then
she's a toddler.
and then Howard is climbing through all these jungle gyms and sliding down in the ball pit with his huge self. And he's like, "Oh, give me the ball, little girl." And here's another ball, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
And then at that point,
grab it, and then she puts it in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to grab it out of her mouth, and then all the moms are like, "You sick pervert," and they're beating him with purses.
And then at that point, that's when he meets the Jim Belushi's character, which is Santa Claus. He goes, psst, psst. Anytime when you see a Santa Claus that goes, psst, psst, come here, do not go there because chances is he's a shady Santa. But
don't do it.
But anyways, "So you want a Turbo Man doll?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Come on, I know where you can get one." So he goes on ahead. He goes over to the warehouse and everything where these Santa Clauses are all at and everything. And they're actually, it's like a bad Santa's workshop for like
Yeah,
underground thugs.
yeah, black market.
And
Yeah.
right, black market Santa Clauses. That's what I'm going to call it. And also also too black market elves though too to go with it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They're all evil.
And so what's funny is he finally Howard thinks that he actually got this Turbo Man doll and everything. All of a sudden, he presses the button. It's talking in Spanish, and Jim Belushi's Santa Claus is like, "Well, it's also educational. This is the special edition one."
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the Turbo Man's head just falls off, and then that's when Arnold goes, "Okay, I want my money back." And then before you know it, there's a raid going down where they're about to arrest these Santa Clauses and these elves and everything, which I thought was actually pretty funny. And then Arnold gets knocked over into where the badges are, and he poses as a police officer. he goes, "Yeah, I'm the detective. I've been working on this case for 5 years now, and all of a sudden you just come in here like a bunch of circus animals and everything, and just bust the place open. Wait until the commissioner hears about this."
Yeah, I wonder if you can really do that with a cop. Like, who are you? I work on this case. It's like, don't
You
look at
just
my
have to be
badge. Look at my badge. Don't look at it. What? Oh,
just flip it real fast.
look at my badge. I'm the law here today.
Right. I am the law.
I am the law.
But yeah, I thought that bit was actually pretty funny. And then, of course, finally, Arnold just has enough of it where he goes to this little diner. And, then, of course, he sees Myron there. And, at first they're just being friends and everything. They forget about the Turbo Man doll for a little bit. There's a little bit of common ground, a little bit. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm kind of upset after the way I talked to my son Jamie." Howard says that to Myron, and he goes, "Oh, that was kind of rough on how you actually talked to him." He said, "You might want to watch out. He might actually turn into someone that works at the post office with some drinking problems and daddy issues." And next thing you know, there's an image of Jamie drinking out of a flask.
Yes,
And
Dad. I was like, oh God.
then also too, at that point, there's actually on the radio where there's actually going to be with them giving out Turbo Man dolls, and so they're trying to fight each other to get to the phone booth and everything. And the diner guy's like, "Why are you guys fighting for it? The radio station is just 5-10 minutes away." So next thing you know, Arnold gets in his car, even though it's all beat up and scratched up from hell and back again, and
Yeah,
everything too.
yeah.
And that was actually something that was actually pretty funny though too. Not funny for him, but funny for us. But but yeah, he winds up going over to the radio station before Myron gets there, and he goes, and he names off all the reindeer really fast, and he just kicks in the door.
Yeah.
He goes, I won, right? He goes, "That's not how it works. You're supposed to call into the show."
No.
And
And then
everything.
Myron comes in after him, and then he's like, no, no, me. And then I don't know why he always his go-to is to pick up a package. Just a random package because he didn't deliver the mail yet. And he's like, I got a bomb. They're like, oh my God, nobody move. I got a bomb. I'm not supposed to work on it. And he's like shaking it all around.
I got a bomb.
I got a
Just shaking
bomb.
it.
I got a bomb. I'm sick of this. And then it falls on the ground. Everybody's like, hit the deck. And it's nothing.
And then
It's just a
that's
music
when
box.
right, and then there's the cop that winded up pulling Arnold over and everything. He goes, I've been in the force for a long time. This is not a bomb." All of a sudden, he opens it up and it explodes on him.
Yeah, yeah, because he did that again, right? He put out
Right,
another package when the cops came after
right,
them.
right.
Yeah, and he's like, "This is a bomb. I got the detonator. I work for the post office." And they're like, "Okay."
And even Howard's like, why do you have a bomb? He goes, I always hold one back just in case. We always get a bunch of these in, in the post office.
Yeah, and then it was a real bomb. He's like, it's some sick people in this world.
Like you were mentioning about the mail and everything. It's like, this is like life or death. It doesn't matter if your mail is late or not. Myron is
Oh,
determined to get a Turbo Man doll for his son.
yeah. Yes, because they just got a divorce, right? Him and his wife.
Right,
So
right,
he wants to be the good dad. So everything is riding on this, and your mail be damned.
right. Let's just say if your kid had a Turbo Man doll and Myron was handling that package, chances is you won't be getting that Turbo Man doll
No,
anytime
'cause
soon.
he'll be under his tree for his son.
And the mail will be delayed even more up until
Yeah, yeah.
February,
There
probably.
goes your stimulus check. And
But so after that winds up happening with them doing that, then he realizes too that he's also late for the parade.
mm,
And that's when he sees Ted hitting on his wife with the eggnog. Here, have some non-alcoholic eggnog. I'm like, so I thought to myself, so are you offering alcoholic beverages to other women so that they could sleep with you? Or is this just specifically just for her not to have an alcoholic beverage? Because
I think he doesn't have to do much with those other women. He's just like, oh, he slides in to their DMs if this was like online. And he'd be like, oh, I can fix your sink for you. Your husband hasn't fixed it yet? Oh no. And he's just fixing things around the house.
right,
And women like when you fix things, fellas.
he cooked. He
They
cooked
like
for them.
when you fix things and you cook. That's how you get to a woman's heart.
Well, another thing though too is like before they even leave, that's when Howard comes back home, but he goes into Ted's house because that whole entire thing with it echoing in his head, he goes, it's nestled safely under my tree
Hmm.
where it belongs. So
Yeah.
next thing you know, Howard goes into his house, tries to get the Turtle Man doll. He almost burns the whole entire house down with Ted's house and everything. And next thing you
Yeah.
know, the Turtle Man doll is actually in his possession. And then they're wondering why he has the Turbo Man doll. If I was
Mm.
Howard, I'd be like, look, I saw the flames coming up and everything. I came in here to investigate. I was trying to save your presence. The only one that made it up was the Turbo Man doll. Here's your doll. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I would have just said, well, it's in my hands now, so I might as well keep going.
Or just come in and run.
Yeah. You saw nothing. But yeah, he could have did that too, John. He could have said, "Oh no, your house was on fire." Like you said, I grabbed the Turbo Man dog because I thought this is the most precious thing to your
Right.
son, and
Because
I
it
just
even had the Turbo Man
have
wrapping paper.
yes,
So it wasn't like it was under plain wrapping paper or anything like that to guess that's what it was. It's
yeah,
very noticeable that was a Turbo Man doll. So
yes,
therefore, it would have actually been believable that he actually did that.
yes. That did
And
remind me
then,
of Christmas Vacation, the review we did,
oh
where
yeah,
everything in the house was burning up, and I think the Christmas tree was on fire too.
yep. And poor Howard, he just wants to do something right for his son. It's just not going right. Just like Chevy Chase wanting to do this
Yeah.
big, huge
Mhm.
extravaganza Christmas for his family, and it's just going south.
Going south, man. And then the reindeer comes in the house and he's trying to fight the reindeer and he punches the reindeer. The reindeer has black eyes. Like, what the hell?
And the reindeer's like just with his head bobbing everywhere. It's like,
Gosh, what is this?
but
And then, like, when they go to the parade, the wife goes, she asks Ted to take her and her son to the parade, and then she's disappointed in Howard. And then Howard's drinking bourbon with the reindeer. It's like about to give up and say, screw this. I can't do anything right.
no. And he sees Howard making, no, he sees Ted making moves on his wife though, He was
Yeah.
gonna kick his ass, but then of course the cops is running after him because of that whole entire scene with the explosives, with the
Oh,
bomb and everything. And then that's whenever he goes into where the parade people are, and that's when he winds up with the Turbo Man costume on.
that was awesome. I
That
have
was
to
actually
say
pretty cool.
that was
I
pretty
wasn't
cool
expecting
scene.
that.
I
Now,
wasn't either.
when you first saw that as a kid, were you expecting that? What were you thinking whenever he was just actually just when they were just jumping him and putting on the clothes and everything? What did you think that was happening?
Um, I I don't know. I didn't know what was going on at first. I was like, what is going on here? And Boomer's like, well, who do you think you are? And I'm like, okay. Oh my gosh, Turbo Man. This is the coolest thing ever. Screw the doll. My dad's
Right,
Turbo Man. You
right.
know. But I as an adult, I'm stepping outside of my childhood for a minute. I thought the way they shot that scene was pretty cool from his point of view. They're like
Right.
him, strapping him in costumes, and he's like, "What's going on?" And we're the same way, like, "What's going on?" And then we slowly figure it out as Boomer, the toy nobody likes, the sidekick
It's-
nobody likes. I've been waiting on you all day, pal. Why are you late? You know.
And I liked it too whenever the guy who's the director of the whole entire thing, he goes, "Look, I'm glad that you were able to replace the other guy. The other guy got injured while doing this.
Hmm.
And it's so good that he actually took his spot and everything. So we were able to actually do this. He gave him the whole entire layout of what to do with the jetpack, everything else, really fast with the instructions. And Arnold's trying to process it and everything. Goes, I do not know what's going on.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
like that
Apparently,
whole entire
the
surprise bit.
the other guy broke his neck doing the stunts.
Right,
And he's like, but he's fine now.
right. Matter of fact, he actually said there's some good news with that though. He actually has some brain waves, some brain activity into his brain now, so he's
Mm,
okay. So
that's
good
good.
luck.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad he's doing better.
Me too. And then you know what though? They actually took. This is a little bit of trivia,
Okay.
but they actually took the suit that was kind of like the Flash and used that for the idea of how to actually make the suit.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. It makes
Yeah,
sense. Okay. Yeah,
it
I see it
actually
now.
I can actually see that, to be honest with you, because I was even thinking that I said this actually has a very Flash-like comic book type of feel with the costume when you
Hmm.
actually see bits and pieces of the sleeve coming on him and everything else. So
Yeah.
it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Eh,
oh, go on.
I was gonna say I have some trivia. The actual Turbo Man doll was briefly sold in stores
Yep,
as part of
my mom
promotion
actually
for the
bought me
film.
one.
Oh, John, do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
What? And you didn't bring it out?
It's in the shed somewhere.
What? It's in the shitter.
Shed. It's in the shed somewhere. But
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
didn't even ask for it, to be honest with you. I didn't even know they even made those. I was just concentrating on N64. I wasn't concentrating on Turbo Man.
Great. Thanks, Mom.
So all of a sudden I see the Turbo Man. I'm like, ooh, this is actually pretty cool. It also had the voice box. It had everything that Jamie had wanted.
Oh,
I was ready for them to actually come through the house to jump me, Marlon
oh,
and them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And
still,
it's not it. Well, it's on eBay, but it's like $250 if you want it.
I should have actually kept that in the box.
You should have, John. Jeez, I should have kept my Power Rangers. They're probably like $300 now on eBay.
But I liked how the all of a sudden, whenever Arnold just pops up, Howard pops up in that float and
Yeah.
everything, like a rock concert and everything, and then all of a sudden the Turbo Man doll slides up just like that too. And I thought that was actually pretty cool and of course Arnold's acting like a big huge rock star, Howard is, and he's like, I got the Turbo Man doll. Yes, he's celebrating at the fact that he got it. He doesn't know what he's gonna do with it. He doesn't know what the next step is. And Then, of course, of course, then they find out. Of course, the psychic goes, "Hey, numbnuts, go and select a kid so the way you can get give him the doll." So of course he points over to Jamie. Of course, douchebag Ted's kid is over there saying he's pointing to me. Jamie's over there fighting with him. And finally, he announces Jamie's name. Jamie doesn't even know how Turbo Man even knows his name or anything like that. He gets on the float. Next thing you know, Myron jumps the villain and chases. It's like an ongoing chase with the Turbo Man doll.
Yeah.
It's just total ridiculousness if you actually think
whole
about it.
movie is like one big rat race
Right,
for the
it really
cover
is.
prize of Turbo Man, which is what I don't understand. The critics don't get. It's straightforward.
Right.
It's one big rat race to get a toy for a kid for Christmas.
You see, that's what I'm thinking though too. The critics at that time were very critical because of the fact they were probably wanting something more from this. But I'm like, come on, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's good at one-liners. He's good at one-line jokes. He's an action star. He's not a top A-list actor that is going to win Academy Awards. So you have to expect that this is going to be a one-dimensional film, straight to the point, straightforward for the holidays. You're not looking for anything to actually go on or anything like that.
No.
And that's what I got out of it. It's a good family Christmas movie. I also loved the part where he actually has the jetpack on when Howard turns on the jetpack, and he's over there flying towards Jamie and everything, and he doesn't know how to work the jetpack just yet or anything like that. He's spinning around in circles. Matter of fact, his head even hits the bricks, and it kind of just stays there, like a cartoon, like you would actually see on Roadrunner.
Yeah, I like that scene. He was like spinning around in circles, flying, and then the jetpack stops, just like a Looney Tune cartoon, and then he drops down and descends almost to the earth.
Right, and then finally, they wind up finally and everything. He winds up getting Sinbad. He winds up getting Marlin.
Yes,
and everything, and Myron, and at that point, the cops is like, "Thank you, Turbo Man, for saving this boy here. We owe you a great gratitude. We could use someone like you at the station." And at that point, Arnold turns around and he goes, "Thank you, officer." And he's like, and the officer is just pissed off at him because he's been Howard's been pretty much pissing him off all the way through the whole entire movie, especially whenever he's knocking over the bike, the bomb. And even he mentions it. He goes, "I'm sorry about the bike. I'm sorry about the bomb." Liz is just over there looking at him and goes, "Bomb?
Bomb? What have you been doing?"
It's like some Mission Impossible stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But then he goes, "Here you go, son. Here's your Turbo Man doll." He goes, "I don't want the Turbo Man doll. I have the real Turbo Man right here."
Oh,
it's so adorable, sweet. But at the same time, I'm like, I would have been pissed. I'm like, I spent the whole entire day trying to get this stupid doll. You're not going to give it to Myron's kid. Forget Myron's kid. He's going to turn into a postmaster who's an alcoholic and has daddy issues. You're not going to be like him. You're going to be the popular kid in school. Here's your doll. That's what I would have been.
Exactly. I agree with you, John. I was like, you mean all I had to do was dress up like Turbo Man for Christmas, and you would have been satisfied?
Exactly.
To do the hand motions. It's Turbo time, and that's all I had to do for Christmas.
And I always keep my promises. I'm sorry, but I would have actually, I would have been the one person where I'm like, "You're gonna keep this doll.
Yeah,
you're gonna play with it until you're 21." I don't.
Yeah, I almost went to jail. I almost went to federal prison for you for fake bomb threats.
Right.
Which I'm surprised he Yeah, he was racking up so much charges, like bomb threats, destruction of property, child endangerment, threatening an officer, posing as a policeman.
He just broke every single law though in one movie.
Yeah. I'm sorry, this man ain't going to jail.
No, if it's Jingle All the Way, you're not gonna go to jail.
Okay, very good. And it was directed by Chris Columbus.
Actually, it was actually his production team that was
It was produced by him.
yeah,
Oh,
because Christopher Columbus
yeah,
was gonna do it,
yeah,
but he had
yeah.
some other stuff going on, so it was just his production team that actually did it.
Oh, nice. Okay,
It was
even
actually
better.
it was actually directed by Brian Levant.
Okay.
And a matter of fact, he actually directed The Flintstones, Are We There Yet?
Okay.
Scooby Doo, The Spy Next Door, and that's it. And, oh, Beethoven. He also directed Beethoven, Problem Child 2, which is actually one of my other
Oh
favorite films
God,
from the 90s.
man.
He actually directed an episode of Married with Children.
Oh,
So he's done some. He even directed the very first Problem Child movie, though, too.
oh yeah. I rented that movie as a kid because I thought the kid that played the problem child was so cool, and I was like, wow, I wish I could do that to my parents.
I would be, if I did half the stuff that Junior did to his parents, I wouldn't be moving right now. I would be in a full
No,
on.
I wouldn't either. That's why I said I wish. I didn't say I was going to try it. I know who my parents are.
I do too. I know them very well.
I know mine very well too. But yeah, I
But
thought it was pretty cool that the parade was shot in LA
yeah,
and they had to make it like Christmassy. And it was
right. They
like
made it
100 degrees outside.
right. It's supposed to be shot in Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was
But
actually interesting.
they did a pretty good job though.
They did.
Yeah.
They made it real feel Christmassy in California. That's
Mm,
definitely.
yeah. Very good job. Very good Universal Studios. You guys did a great job.
Well, 20th Century Fox, right?
Oh,
Because
sorry.
this is because because I even tweeted out to Disney Plus. I'm like, you don't have Jingle All the Way, but you own 20th Century Fox.
What did they say?
They said we're working on it. They've
Mm,
been working on it for a year. They still
wow.
haven't gotten it.
Yeah. That's their
But
screw you response. We're
right,
working on
they're working on it.
We're working
But
on it.
okay, another thing I want to talk about is actually the post-credit scene at the very end. Because you didn't even know about that.
No, I did not. Tell me.
Okay, at the very end of it, you think that was the end of the whole entire ordeal, where finally his son Jamie actually learns his lesson about the true meaning of Christmas. It's not about the Turbo Man doll or anything like that. It's about Christmas being with your family, and also too what what your father did for you and everything and stuff like that, and the lens that he will actually go through. Well, all that time he never picked up a present for his wife. So
Oh,
Liz asked him as they're going to bed, "So, all this with the Turbo Man doll and everything, I'm just wondering, what did you get me for Christmas?" And all of a sudden, his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. And he's like, "Oh shit." And that's how it ends.
yeah. And that's when I would have kissed her and said, I know what I got you for Christmas. The
Right.
D.
And that's
I
also,
got you the D for Christmas. That's what you get.
but they tried to do the same thing with Larry the Cable Guy for Jingle All the Way to as well.
Oh, Larry the Cable. Where there was a two?
Yeah, there's a part 2 that came out for direct TV, direct to DVD
Wow.
and everything, which I didn't watch because I don't really watch direct to DVD movies because chances is they're stinkers. But
Mm.
nothing beats the original Jingle All the Way. That's my
Yeah.
go-to, not Larry the
Yeah.
Cable Guy. So
No. No. I wonder what he was fighting for, what they had, like Turbo Man 2 Deluxe. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know what they were fighting
Turbo
over
Man
at that point.
Deluxe. Yeah.
To me, I think the sequel should have been with Liz, where Arnold has to go back next year and try and get his wife something that she wants.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
would love,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
I would have
Okay.
loved to see that, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. And him
but
and the kid fights, trying to get him and his mom something along with
yeah,
his dad. Okay.
I think that would have been good.
Yeah.
But is there anything else as far as the trivia goes that you want to talk about?
No, that was all I had. But then again, I should have consulted with Ben or whoever else were your trivia kings, Quentin. I should have
Well,
consulted with them before I came on the
for
show.
well, get this though. In March of 2001, a U.S. District Court jury in Birmingham, Michigan, well, a matter of fact, in Michigan,
Hmm.
ruled that 20th Century Fox stole the script idea for Jingle All the Way from Detroit high school biology teacher Brian Webster. The studio was ordered to pay $19 million, later reduced to $1.5 million. Webster submitted the script, then named Could This Be Christmas? That was actually the name of the film, was Could This Be Christmas?
Hmm.
To the studio in 1994 and never received payment nor credit, despite the film making $129 million worldwide. 20th Century Fox appealed, and the verdict was reversed since Webster's script was submitted and the studio had already purchased a treatment summary or outline of what would become this movie script.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang. So it was everything to the T, right? He created Turbo Man. Like he
I
wrote
don't know
that in the
about
script.
that, but he submitted the script for this and named it something else, and then they went on ahead and probably made some changes and renamed it something.
Yeah, I think that's what they do anyway in Hollywood.
Right.
You have to be very careful who you submit your script to. Because in Hollywood, they'll if they run out of ideas, they'll just steal other people's ideas and thoughts.
I agree.
Unfortunately, yeah. So you basically have to
And
make
then,
your own movie, which I think is we're in a good time now where you can make your own movie. Like people make
right.
movies on iPhones.
That's what I was gonna
So
say. You can use your iPhone just to make a movie and everything, and you
yeah,
just send it.
yeah, you can release it on YouTube.
Matter of fact, that's actually what the people from Concrete Jungle did. They actually filmed the majority of their film. They got some equipment and everything, and they made the movie and made it around their neighborhood, and that's what they did with Concrete Jungle. It's actually on YouTube right now for people to actually stream.
Mm,
On
nice,
yep, I
cool.
got the privilege to actually interview them. They're very good, talented young directors. Well, one's a director, the other one's a cinematographer, and I highly recommend that you guys actually check it out if you're looking for a little bit of a laugh that's thrown in with a little bit 90s vibe mixed in with a 2020 kind of vibe to it. So there's that. Another thing I want to bring up is Sinbad actually improv'd most of his lines,
Yes.
and Arnold also improv'd as well with the back and forth between the both of them, which I thought was really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that in the 90s. Like you said, all the 90s movies he did, like House Guest was my favorite too.
Mine too.
Yeah. And First Kid, right? Wasn't he in
Yep,
something called First Kid? Yeah.
yep. First Kid was my favorite one though too. Those were the two that is high up on my list as far as favorite Sinbad movies
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But my introduction into Sinbad was House Guest. That was like my first movie that I watched with Sinbad in it. And a matter of fact, I still remember Sinbad's character's name is Kevin Franklin. And
Yeah. And the McDonald's for some reason. Was he getting
yeah, my
McDonald's
favorite thing
cheeseburger?
is my favorite scene in that movie is with the McDonald's scene when he's supposed to be one of those guys who watches his weight and he's
Hmm.
starving for a hamburger and he can't eat in front of Phil Hartman, so he throws it and it lands into the baby's basket and everything in somebody's house. But another scene though is when he goes back over to McDonald's and the woman goes, "Can I take your order?" He goes, and of course he goes, "Yes, you may." That was my favorite part, though.
That whole scene, he pretend to be a dentist, and people like, I got this thing right here. He's like, oh,
We need to review
yeah,
that one because I think that would
yeah,
be great.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah. We'll review it because I like that movie.
I, I love I love that movie. Hell's Guest is my favorite movie and everything with Sinbad. It's great from beginning to finish. But yeah, that's gonna be our review for Jingle All the Way, though, guys. I appreciate you guys actually joining into the live chat. Larry, thank you again. As a matter of
Larry.
fact, yep. Larry actually said I tore out pages of a J.C. Penney's catalog going, I want this. I did the same thing too, though, Larry. I did the same thing as well, tearing out pages of the magazine, making a wish list for Santa, which is really my mom or really
No,
my dad.
John, no. Santa is not real. Spoiler alert. Oh, God. What if children are listening to this, John? My God.
That's why I have age restrictions.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. And we have private policies too. So we're fine. We're
Right.
covered. Our lawyers will be in touch. Oh my God.
Anywho, tomorrow I actually have a guest coming on. He's an amateur independent wrestler or retired wrestler. Am I right?
Yeah.
Wrestler. And I'm going to be interviewing him on this channel for a YouTube live stream. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That's at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern time, I'm actually going to have Mike Perkins on with me.
Yay.
And we're going to be doing a Mafia Mondays review for The Sopranos Season 4. You can catch that on the audio-only podcast, though. It's not going to be live, unfortunately, because of the fact that we've already reviewed all 3 seasons and audio only. So I really just want to go on ahead and focus on the podcast for the audio only version, since people are going to be like, well, what about seasons 1 through 3? Why are we just doing season 4? So that's my way of actually saying, hey, look, listen to the audio only podcast. You'll get to listen to all 4 seasons of that on the audio version of that. And I think that's actually pretty cool that I'm actually going to be interviewing this wrestler. And also, too, guys, if you guys actually want to donate into the show, how can you do that? I'm glad that you guys asked. You can go to www.gofundme.com/movieloversunite. And of course, guys, we're also on Audible as well. That are actually sponsoring us. That's another way that you can show love towards this channel for our 30-day trial. You can go ahead and do that. And also, too, another thing that you guys can do as well is, if you want some movie insight, go to movieloversunite.com and everything for all your movie entertainment news. And also, too, go to Pinterest and everything. We have some great stuff there. We also have Instagram now and stuff like that. Tomeka's actually doing a fantastic job at posting the clips that we have from our episode segments and things like that, and it's fantastic. Go ahead and check out those clips in case you guys actually want to go back and revisit some subjects and some clips over there. Go ahead and do so. Go to Movie Lovers Unite /Movie Lovers and TV Lovers Unite. Go on ahead and do that, and then that's pretty much everything I wanted to plug in. And on Twitter, you can follow me on Movie Lovers Unit and also on John DeGregorio 8. And let me see if there's anything left in this live chat. Let's see here. Brandy said that she loves Street Fighter. It was her absolute favorite video game. It was mine too.
Yeah.
Larry said Street Fighter and Sonic.
Yes, I got Sonic. Yeah.
Let's see. Brandy said I used to sneak over the neighbors to play Sega.
Yes.
Let's see here. And then she also said, yes, Baby Yoda is everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
Yo-yo.
Baby Yo-Yo, which I have to actually see the season finale.
And thank you. And thank you, Brandy. I'm glad that you love the beanie. I've been trying to do a little bit more Christmassy. I just have a red Star Wars shirt, so that's Christmassy enough.
Close enough. Yeah.
I got
my drunk goat sweater. I don't know if everybody can see it. You can see it. It's like drunk goat and it's like a beer can. Ugly Christmas sweater.
Alrighty, so that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. I'm glad that you guys ended up staying with us and everything, and just letting us review this movie. And I'll be back tomorrow. And always until next time, guys. Bye-bye and have a Merry Christmas, because this is actually part of our Christmas episode for December 25th. You guys actually get to see it early. For the people on audio only, you guys are going to be listening to this on December 25th. Always, until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.